What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Magi, the Kingdom of Magic, episode 16. And this episode, it was definitely deep and it was definitely emotional. So the episode starts off with the Chancellor here, or the Director. He is still going on about his past, and we learned that after the war, these magicians, they were still working to please the Goy, as they were using their magic to basically do everything for them. So this country, it got heavily dependent on magic, to the point that they definitely could not live without it. So it goes to show you, how magic can be so beneficial. It's not like it had to be used for combat, as we have seen so far in this series. Because magic back then, it was everything to these people. And so now we have Titus at one point. He actually stands up, and of course he brings the level 5 district to light. Because most of these students, they didn't even know about it till he brought it up. And of course he was saying how, like, what's his name, the Chancellor here, how he just wanted to be king, but at the same time, when this guy made his country, he had these king duties, belong to him, so he had no choice. But this guy also made a good point, because when Tita brought up Marga, who we all know is dying from this illness, the Chancellor here, or Director, he also said there are like hundreds of kids that are in the same boat like Marga. So he questioned Titus, would he, take them all out and raise them all? Because we see that the only one that he is so attached to is Marga. And when this guy, brought up this shadow that was like swelling inside of him, it definitely hit him at home. Because we just see Titus' entire resolve. It just got so shaken up like that. But of course we have Aladdin who's going to back his friend up. And even we see one of these students who were definitely concerned about this district, because his parents were born, as Goy. But the Chancellor quickly puts down the arrest that it's not that he wants to oppose the Goy. Because these people, even though their Magoi are getting sucked dry and they are dying from lethal exhaustion, it's not that, they are, opposed to this. They are choosing this because they don't have to worry about nothing. They are living, such a carefree life. So at the same time, even though this district, it is definitely a bad thing, it can also be good in some sense. But now we have these students here, after that whole lecture was over, they were talking among themselves, and they were trying to figure out, if this was like right or wrong. But eventually they all come to the conclusion that they can't really make up their mind about this just yet without going there firsthand. So now they're all planning on heading there, but we have Titus, who is still, kind of distraught as he is thinking about, what Magnostadt, whatever his name is, said to him. And so now he actually came to Titus as he wanted to go see Marga as well. And of course Titus was thinking that, now he just want to pity her and start caring about her. But the one that he actually cares for is Titus, because he can tell that there's like the darkness inside of him. And then, the Chancellor here, or Director, he already knew that Titus was working with the Magi and the Liam Empire. And so of course Titus gets rather defensive. But we actually learn that the Director here, he actually pities the Liam Empire's Magi, and he also pities what's her name, Aladdin's teacher, because he was saying that even though these two are so gifted, that they're gonna die in an early age, because he was saying that they couldn't make a barrier to cover an entire country single-handedly. But if they use so much Magoi like that in magic, it is going to shorten their life, so they'll die young. And he actually had the good point right there, because we see that, what's her name, Yamihara, whatever her name is, she does have a barrier protecting Sindara, and she is doing that alone for the most part. So I can see her definitely having an early death in the series. Now, even though I don't want that to happen, that right there is definitely possible. And when the Director here had actually brought up the Magi, we see, like in that one scene, we see 6 people standing together. And of course, we recognize 4 right there. We have Judal, Aladdin, the Magi of the Liam Empire, and Euron. But we see 2 people that we have no idea who they are. So it's possible that there could be 2 other Magis in this world besides the 4 we already know about that we haven't seen yet. And if that's true, then that right there is something very shocking, actually, to think that we can have so many Magi, existing at this one time period. And so now they all head to the 5th level district where we have the director, you know, basically hand over Marga to Titus because he's gonna let her take her up ground. And so of course now he's happy about that. And when they're leaving, we see one kid also wants to leave, and we see that he actually, you know, asked the director if he can leave. But the thing is, you know, this is where it gets pretty messed up, as we have the director, you know, kicking him to the ground. So that right there was like definitely messed up. And you know, Aladdin knew right away that something was like definitely off. Even though he definitely cared about magicians, he actually does not consider Goy people, because he saw them like lower than insects. So that right there is rather shocking, that this guy, even though he can produce such a white pure Ryuk, he actually detests humans so much that he, you know, downright hates them if he considers them, you know, lower than insects. But once they're out, we have Marga, you know, to experiencing the world for the first time, as she was so fascinated by a cat. And we even learn that they now are living above ground, of course, and they even have this home. And we see at one point that, you know, her illness is actually really getting to her, as she was coughing a lot, and she seemed to have a fever as well. But the director, he actually used all these magicians for like healing magic, and even though that they could not cure this disease, they were able to slow it down. And that right there, which is pretty freaking awesome. Even though this guy might be evil, he is definitely doing, you know, a few good deeds. But now we have Aladdin, Spintus, Titus, and Marga. They were like hanging out one day, and of course, you know, they were all having fun together. And that right there was nice. I'm definitely glad to see these like characters are bonding, and it's definitely nice to see the relationship and the friendship that, you know, Marga and Titus have. Because these characters, they are just so important right now in the story, and their stories are, you know, so emotional, that I'm glad that they're having like their own little personal episode here. And we see at one point that Aladdin, he actually gets into this class with like 2 other guys, and he with this professor that we've seen before, and her name was like Irene or Irene, something like that. And we see that, you know, Aladdin, he was so happy, you know, to be in her class, but it's probably because of her chest, because it is rather large. But when Aladdin actually goes, you know, to take her hand, she actually smacked it away. And so this teacher, a professor, she is very salty because Aladdin was able to have tea with the director, and she is like so jealous of that. But the main course of her class here, it is basically dark Ryuk, as she takes them to the classroom where we see that they have some dark Ryuk, you know, in a glass jar. And not only that, they actually have an artificial dojin, as we see that even though it's deformed and very small, it is still considered a dojin. And so of course now, you know, Aladdin definitely wasn't shocked like the other 2, and that right there kind of what exposed him, because even Irene, she said that they would definitely have to keep an eye on them. But now this right here, it actually kind of, you know, it actually exposed, you know, this whole school as well, as they now definitely have to have a connection with the organization, Al-Thamen. So that right there, you know, what was a definite, like, huge shocking revelation. And I'm glad that, you know, that right there came out to the light as it should, as it's like very important as well. So it's definitely a good thing that, you know, that right there came out to the light, because it is important, you know. And so now we have Titus, who would actually, you know, giving his support to the Magi of the Liam Empire. And while they were talking, we have what's her name, Marga, who actually came in, and the Magi, you know, heard her, and so she was saying that Titus should not get so attached to her, because he did not have much time left. And so now you not gotta worry about Titus' own, you know, his own life. Because if he's dying, then that means Marga will one day be alone. And even though she was saying that she loved them, I'm pretty sure Titus does not want to leave her as well. And we even see close to the ending of the episode where we have Marga wanting him to wait till she gets older so she can repay him for like so many things. Because not only did this guy, you know, like take her above ground, but he also got her disease, you know, stopped. And he also, you know, got them house thanks to the Chancellor as well. So even though he's like doing so much for them, she actually wants to repay them, but of course now as a kid she can't do that. And I would say that, you know, if she got older, then I could definitely see them, you know, being some kind of pairing, but at the same time he would age as well. So it all would be kind of awkward because of that whole age thing. But if teenage age could actually stop, then that right there could definitely be, you know, a possible, you know, pairing right here, you know, once you get older, of course. But we just see that, you know, her words moved him so much that he was actually crying as he was holding her. And it goes to show you how attached he is to her, that he's even willing to, like, go to the director, who he is supposed to be watching, because he actually did report to the Magi Empire. I mean, yeah, the Empire. I'm sorry, hold on. He actually reported to the Magi of the Liam Empire that this place is definitely making magic tools, and that they're trying to intimidate the Liam Empire with them. But now he actually wants to live, so he is kind of like betraying the Magi of the Liam Empire by going to this guy, because he actually wants him to somehow, you know, make sure that he doesn't die. So it's possible that Titus, he can actually, you know, become evil, or at least, you know, not be loyal to the Magi anymore, and that right there would just be shocking. But like I said, this episode, it was definitely emotional, and I liked it actually. I like it a lot. Like, the feels here were definitely strong, so I was digging it. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And as always, guys, you all take it easy. I'll see you all next time.